When I throw these in actual combat, most of the time, if it's going onside, it will come up at this angle here. Look at the pretty birdie. And if I'm throwing it offside, it'll come out at head rate, will come up and back down again. That's what was getting him to open up his defense earlier. When it comes to here and it comes up, that blade coming up, they go, wow! So, it starts just like an offside. And then when you get to here, throw the Moulin. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. There you go. Does that make sense? Yeah. You want your opponent to see the Moulin. The more he sees it, the more he reacts to it. It's pretty, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a plan where it's going to land first. Your opponent will tell you how he wants to die. If he doesn't react to it at all, right, which some people won't, oh, that's a Moulin, that's a fake. Well, great. So he didn't react at all, that just lets me hit him right in the head. Other people will react by opening up their defense, in which case you don't have to change it. Other people go, oh, crap, and lock down. Well, guess what comes open? So then you do this. Because you're not committed yet. When it's up there spinning around, you're not committed to where it's going to end up. Make sense? Any questions about the Moulinaise? All right, it takes some toe work to get comfortable with these. If you feel like you got the basic idea, this is one of those things, if you got a wiffle bat,
Yeah.
it's a great training tool. Preferably the ones that have the foam on them. They got a little weight to them so you can feel when you do it wrong. And you're not going to ruin your furniture. And you can stand beside your sofa watching TV going. Hit yourself in the head and make sure the biomechanics are coming right, whatever. So, practice with Moulinaise. I guarantee you, I won't guarantee you, some of you are mutant. But for most of you, if you haven't thrown them in an actual full-speed combat fight before, it's going to take a while before you can actually work it in your fights.
Expect to get hit.
Or expect to feel really sloppy when you're doing it for real until you get worked in. Okay. So this one's for the big guys. This is the elbow lever. So another way to change directions on blows is to just use your body to change the direction. I'm going this way, and then I crank my elbow down, and it changes the direction of it. Another version of this is called the retique. I'm coming over here, I crank my elbow all the way through, and hit with the back blade. The trick to all of these is, say again?
That's like all of my shots.
But you can do the same thing. You can get the shot to here and then flip it, right? You're here, elbow up. The trick is, put your sword down for a second. Put two fingers on your elbow and extend it until you feel the tendon lift. You'll feel the tendon sort of lift off the elbow. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Until that spot, you're not actually committed. Right? I can be this far into the blow and change it to that with no big deal.
My tendon just want to close.
So, put your arm out, right there. When that tension stops, that tension breaks, you're done.
That's when you're committed. When you extend past that spot, you're committed. Don't try to torque. Don't try to torque the blow with your elbow if you're past that point. You may succeed, but what you will do to your elbow is not bear thinking on. All right, but until then, I know a dude from the West who throws a lot of blows that look like this. Nothing at all. Right? He hasn't even extended his hand past his elbow. And then you're like, I don't know how he throws forward, and the next thing you know, he's hitting me in the back of the leg. Because he's not really throwing anything, right? He's just going, that one felt. Sorry. So until you actually break that elbow, you're not committed. That means that you can be going in any direction, use your elbow as a lever, and to go into a different direction. So, for instance, I beat up on you now.
Okay,
Come over here for a second. I'm throwing here. Sure. Hey, you replay. I'm throwing here, but I'm not committed yet. Now I take my elbow and I flip it up so the blow lands there.
Oh my.
So this is all about using your elbow as a lever, right? I'm here, I crank it over with the elbow into the rack. Because as I crank it over, it's going to come to that spot that I actually am at some point in the rack anyway. And I throw the rack. One of the really vicious versions of this, the shot has a lot of different names. Where you're throwing an offside to the face, and you crank your elbow over and take a step, and backward to the head. This has your elbow now sitting right next to your opponent's shield, which you rip open with your elbow and hit him in the body. So, there's no real technique trick to this. It's just knowing when you are and when you aren't committed. I'm not committed. I'm committed. So, you can come out and throw it. No shot. You want to throw it. Left snap. Okay, I'm here, I'm not committed. Where do you want it to land?
Offside nipple.
Offside nipple.
My favorite.
You're here. Crank the elbow over.
My favorite.
So there's no secret to this one. It's super easy. It's all about physics. You just...
But now I want to do it with this.
Yeah, you can combine the two.
That's awesome.
You can combine the two. You'll see me do this sometimes where I'll throw here, and then actually I got this one from Martino. I'll throw here, and then I'll crank the elbow down into the leg. Everybody see what he did with his foot? That was awesome. Did you throw that again? Sure. No. All right, so I'm here. I'm throwing this little funky thing here, and then I come down to here. Right there. Put his foot. That was awesome.
That increases your angle.
Yep.
And if you look, the sword is in line with the angle of his leg.
Nicely spotted. This is why a little T-Rex, that's one of those little T-Rex tricks I was telling you about. Counterbalancing because I've broken a rule, right?
Yeah.
But I'm using this as a little counterbalance to keep my balance so that when my legs disappear,
I still go straight down.
nice, well spotted. I didn't even notice. I'm like, what is he talking? I was thinking about my weak foot. I don't know what he's talking about there. Good. So, elbow cranks. Again, let's just start with the easiest one. Get with your partner. Start with a flat slap and crank it over.